This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Carty Method Podcast. Have you ever thought, if only I could turn my photography into paying work? If you've looked at your personal projects and imagined them bringing in actual clients and real money, then today's episode is definitely for you. We're diving deep into exactly how you can transform your passion into profit, taking those personal work creations and turning them into opportunities that pay. It's definitely time to unlock the potential of your personal projects and elevate your photography and business to the next level. So whether you're just starting to think about monetizing your work or you're already making it happen, this discussion today will give you a clear roadmap. We're going to explore actionable steps and strategies to help you transform your personal projects into a thriving photography business. We're going to offer both inspiration today and practical tools to succeed. So let's talk about how to turn personal projects into paying client work. First of all, turning personal projects into paid opportunities is one of the smartest moves that you can make as a photographer. First of all, let's ask why. The work that you make, the work that you create when no one's watching, when no one's dictating what you do, is often where your true voice comes out. The work that I do for myself, my own personal work, has been the work that has actually brought in more work than any of the other work that I've ever created. I have to tell you, I started shooting portraits as personal work. And I rarely talk about the fact that I started as a fashion photographer and I was shooting portraits of my friends in the background, just like for shits and giggles. I was doing it just because I wanted to document my friends, the people who were hanging out in my studio, the people who were always around me. But the experience that I gained through shooting regular people really came into play when I showed my portfolio to the Globe and Mail. I showed my fashion portfolio to the Globe and Mail, and the Globe and Mail said, shoot this portrait. Okay, I went and I shot that portrait, and then he gave me another portrait and another portrait, and he said this to me. He said, Carty, any photographer with a camera can take pictures of beautiful people in beautiful situations with beautiful hair, makeup, and styling. It takes a real photographer to shoot the rest of us. What kind of a photographer are you? And that really hit home, and that really solidified portraits. And before I knew it, I was shooting some of the biggest faces in the world, like Colin Firth and Pharrell Williams, Tom York from Radiohead. Like, my portraits are what people remember, and portraits are and started as personal work for me. That's what we're talking about today. Personal projects really allow you to explore, to experiment, and to express what you're really capable of doing without limits. This is what attracts clients who want you. They want your vision, your style, your unique way of seeing the world. Clients are looking for that unique spark that sets you apart from the rest of the photographers, and your personal projects are the perfect way to showcase it. This is what you get known for. So here's some actionable steps. First of all, you have to set clear intentions for your personal projects. Start each personal project with a very specific intention. What do you want to say with this work? Define what you're hoping to achieve, whether it's you're trying to build your portfolio or experiment with a new technique or explore a specific genre within your niche. And then number 2 is I want you to create without boundaries. I want you to not hold back. Create freely and push yourself to take risks. Personal projects are your chance to experiment without the pressure of client expectations. Try new lighting setups, unusual compositions, or unfamiliar editing styles. This is really important with your personal work because this is just your personal expression. And this is when you actually can start documenting your process. Clients love to see the journey behind a finished product. Document your process from concept to final image and share it with your audience. Behind the scenes content can give potential clients insights into the way that you work and into your creative process. Now, let me tell you this. Personal work is amazing because you're not always able to allow behind the scenes to be shown when you're shooting client work. When I'm doing stuff for clients and shooting movie posters or shooting magazines, like I can't always do behind the scenes on that stuff because oftentimes that work is under embargo. So the beauty of personal work is that it isn't constrained by a client brief, meaning you get to follow your own creative instinct. That freedom often leads to the most striking, impactful work that draws people in. But how do you bridge the gap between your passion projects and clients who pay? How do you make the leap from creating for yourself to creating for others in a way that's both fulfilling but also profitable? So let's dive into it and break down each step in great detail. Hey, Lamont, thank you for becoming a member. Lamont, I got to tell you, every time someone becomes a member, this is what I do. I blow a little smoke. I set a little mood because, it's nice and it helps me. It helps and it helps you because what I do is I give members only content. I give members only live streams and I try to go the extra distance for my members. So thank you for becoming one. Look at the atmosphere that you've just built in this studio space. I appreciate you. So this is what you do. This is what you do first. The first thing that you have to do is you have to create work that aligns with your target market. The first step is you have to align your personal work with your target market. Imagine the type of client that you want to work with. What do they need? What problems are they trying to solve? And what kind of imagery speaks to their brand? When you know who you're trying to attract, you can create personal projects that are designed to resonate with them. You can tailor your personal work to meet the needs of those potential clients, and you can focus on the type of visuals that you know that they desire. So here's some actionable steps. First of all, research, Research your target market. You have to look at brands or businesses that are within your niche. What types of images are they currently using in their marketing? I want you to analyze what's working and what's not, and where there's room for you with your unique take. Next, I want you to create with your ideal client in mind. If your target is luxury brands, stop shooting swag from the mall. Shoot high-end products with a focus on elegance and sophistication. Don't let your models be dressing in some whack outfits. If you aim to work with adventure and travel companies, create work that captures the thrill of exploration and the raw beauty of landscapes, and use your own vision to differentiate. Once you understand your target market, you have to infuse your personal style into the work. You have to offer a fresh perspective that sets you apart from other photographers in that niche. I want you to think about how you can push boundaries while still staying true to what your potential clients actually want. And what we're trying to do is use personal work to build a strong portfolio. Your personal work is the heart of what makes you unique as a photographer. I want you to say this. I want you to hear this. Your personal work is at the heart of what makes you unique as a photographer. When you're building your portfolio, remember, it's not just about what you've done in the past for clients or for yourself. It's about showing your best work, period. if your most compelling creative images are personal projects, let your personal projects take center stage. Your portfolio should tell your story, what excites you as a photographer, as an artist, and what you're truly capable of. So here's your actionable steps. First of all, select your best work. You have to curate your portfolio carefully. Include only your most impactful work. Only your most impactful work. And understand that, sorry guys. Understand that your personal work is, here's my notes. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to align your personal work with your target market. Imagine the type of client you want to work with. What do they need? What problems are they trying to solve? When you know who you're trying to attract, you can create personal projects that are definitely designed to resonate with them. And you have to think about the things that they desire. If you imagine about your target market, what brands are in your niche? For me, I love Nike. Nike is a brand that I continuously am looking at. And this is work that I created for Nike. And it started, and this personal project here, this specific personal project, I started by doing this thing called multiplicity. And I'm going to show you examples of multiplicity. And multiplicity is actually in this body of work. I'm going to show you, it's right here. Multiplicity, I started, this is the second body of work that I did that ended up being client work. Now, let me show you another one. Multiplicity started with this model, Dina. And this was the first image that I made of Dina. And this picture, personal work, spawned commercial work and eventually Nike. So I'm always researching my target market. I'm always looking at brands and businesses within my niche. I'm always looking at the type of imagery that they're currently using in their marketing. And you have to be doing the same thing too. Imagine, I want you to be thinking about what's working with their brands and where there's room for your unique take. I want you to be thinking about shooting high-end luxury brands. I want you to be thinking about using your own vision. Let me get to, okay, so your personal work is at the heart of what makes you unique as a photographer. I think I actually got ahead of myself. Here we go. So this is where we are. When you're curating your portfolio, I want you to be thinking about not just your best work, but I want you to be curating your portfolio carefully. I want you to be thinking about aligning your personal work with the type of projects that you're trying to do. Now, I want you to include only your most impactful, and I include actually personal work projects here in my portfolio. You can see here my personal work. And I try to include impactful personal projects that align with the type of clients that I want to attract. And also, if you have personal work that hasn't received the type of response that you're hoping for, you got to refine it or you got to let it go. And I got to tell you, I do shoot street photography, but my street photography, I do street photography just for myself. And it's just for social media engagement. Sometimes it's for, and I'm not talking about I shoot this stuff for its social media engagement. I'm talking about I just want to meet people, take their picture and share my socials with them. So a lot of these pictures, like this is from my 85mm lens diaries, which I also make content I make content. I love shooting pictures of people on their phone. So this is like another personal project that I'm working on, which is people essentially on their telephone. And this is also part of, I believe, my 85 millimeter lens diaries. So personal projects for me have been something that ends up really turning into personal work. I play. I actually play with my camera, and I play with techniques, and I play with ideas, and I showcase them here. But to be honest, like, I don't show this work to get work necessarily, this specific work, but I have to tell you, the amount of personal projects that are just in my main portfolio are really vast. So this is personal work, and 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 I mix these in, and this is personal work, and this is personal work, and I mix these in with jobs, and this is personal work, and you can't tell what is like jobs and what I shot just for my portfolio. This is personal work. This is my grills project where I started shooting portraits of people who wore grills. So if you have personal work that hasn't received the response that you're hoping for, I want you to think about refining it or letting it go. Because when we're trying to showcase a range of our skills, well, we want our portfolio to reflect our artistic style. We also want to demonstrate a little bit of versatility. We want to include a variety of work that showcases our range, whether that's shooting portraits, lifestyle products, conceptual work. And also, one thing that I really want you to be thinking about is I want you to be telling stories with your photos. I want you to be thinking about storytelling. And every image in your portfolio should contribute to a larger narrative about who you are as a photographer. I want you to be showing your potential clients that you can not only create technically great images, but you can also tell compelling stories through your visuals. And imagine, a strong portfolio is a magnet for the right type of clients. It's not just about showing the breadth of what you can do, but it's about showing the kind of work that you want to be doing. When your portfolio highlights the work that you love, you're going to attract clients that resonate with that style. This also allows you to increase your rates as you're showcasing expertise in a niche and demonstrating your creative vision, which are two things that clients value and are also willing to pay a premium for. Your portfolio should be cohesive, clear, and reflective on your best work. So remember, clients decide whether to reach out to you within seconds based on what they see. So make sure that every single image counts. So let me show you some photographers that make me throw up in my mouth. Like, and again, the way that I always try to describe this vibe to photographers is, if you're not looking at photographers that make you instantly want to just quit, you're not looking at the right photographers. And I'll say that again. If you're not looking at photographers that make you want to just like, oh my God, they're so good, you're not looking at the right photographers. So we are going to start with, we are starting with one of my favorite living photographers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rankin. Rankin is absolutely insane with it. Rankin, I've been looking at Rankin for inspiration for coming on 20 years. Like, Rankin is one of the busiest commercial photographers globally. He shoots people. He shoots celebrities, he shoots fashion, he shoots beauty, he shoots advertising, and I am showing you Rankin's beauty portfolio. And I gotta tell you, I just love looking at this photographer's work because he pushes so far. He pushes so far. This is Rankin. And again, how far are you pushing your work? This is just one of Rankin's categories. Let me show you another. That's beauty. Let's look at beauty too. And again, this is the same shooter and less wild. This is now Rankin showing you how clean he can shoot. Like, he has a very definitive style, but his versatility brings me joy. His ideas bring me joy. His level of detail, he brings me joy. This is Rankin. This is still same photographer. I want you to be getting ideas when you look at these crops, and I want you to be noticing the non-distracting backgrounds. I want you to be noticing every vertical is a cover. This is Rankin. More? Let me show you one more. And this is Rankin's portraits. And Rankin's portraits are banana pudding. Rankin is a people photographer, unequivocally. Very famous picture of the Queen. Oh, thank you so much, Starlight. I appreciate you. So this is just unbelievable. 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 So this is Rankin. Let me show you another that just makes me understand that this next photographer, there is nobody like Raymond Meyer. There hasn't been a photographer like Raymond Meyer since Irving Penn. Irving Penn was a master of people, places, and things. There is very few people who can master all three umbrellas. It's insanity. That's literally insanity. Raymond Meyer is a living shooter. He's probably in his early 70s. He is a master of people, places, of things. He started with product. He moved to on-figure product, then full models, makeup detail, beauty, design, architecture, cars. Like, this guy is a killer. This is Raymond Meyer. And Raymond Meyer is just, he is insane with it. Like, when you see same photographer, the literal same photographer is shooting the best on-figure beauty, on-figure that you've seen, plus portraits. Like, he's doing this, but he's also doing this and this and this. Like, this is Scarlett Johansson. Like, he also shoots like, his work is bananas. And Raymond Meyer, if you ever want to be humbled, if you ever want to just get knocked down a notch as far as you feeling like you are the best thing that photography's ever seen, start looking at some masters. Start looking at some masters who literally started before Photoshop and were shooting at this level. This is Raymond Meyer. And again, you're seeing interiors, architecture. Like, there's not a lot of people who get away with a portfolio like this. There's not a lot. That's why I don't recommend it. But Raymond Meyer has the reputation, he has the work, he has the accolades, and he's got a 45-year career, if not longer, of doing this work. So that is another photographer, like, when I'm talking personal work and photographers that just mix personal work with their professional, like, photographers that are just real deal, pure photographers, man. And Raymond Meyer is no joke, one of the absolute best. From Vogue, Vanity Fair, Harper's Bazaar, Tiffany's, Marc Jacobs, like, Clinique, Calvin Klein. Like, there is nothing that this guy hasn't. Like, look at his fashion editorial. Like, this guy is so dangerous, so killer. Like, this same photographer is shooting this, but also shooting like product where he cuts the models' heads off. Like, this is just, it's so random, but nobody does it like this guy. I love this photographer. He is one of my favorites. And again, you're seeing the power of personal work. I hope you're feeling how motivated I am. And as far as like just showing you this work, just like I get so excited. This is Michael Muller. And Michael Muller, you've seen more Michael Muller photos than you think, but his personal work is animal conservation. Michael Muller has shot more movie posters than any other photographer, I would say, in history. He is the guy. He's the guy for shooting movie posters. Like, unequivocally, he's shot every movie poster you've ever seen. Between him and this other photographer that I'm going to show you in a moment. But this is Michael Muller. And Muller shoots portraits. He shoots athletes. He shoots celebrities. He shoots musicians. He shoots fashion. Michael Muller, but his personal work is expedition. He loves conservation and he loves animals. So he's into diving, scuba diving, hanging out with sharks. So a huge part of his personal work is shark conservation and photographing sharks. So personal work. And he shows all of this in the same portfolio. Like, this is all his portfolio. And how did Michael Muller get into doing pictures at this level? Well, he went on Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset Boulevard, where there were people dressing up as these characters. And he would shoot this woman who was being Snow White. And then he would shoot stormtroopers and bring them in the studio and get them to do strange things. And then he made this one picture. You know, he made this one picture, and that one picture, and by the way, he did an exhibit of this whole body of work, and he made this one picture of Batman smoking. And yes, it is a glass pipe. I'll tell you the things that go into glass pipes that are white that I don't want to say on the air, but he made this picture of this Batman actually legitimately doing this in between, like, hey, I just want to go back here. You can come with me if you want. And like, hey, could I take a picture? Yeah, do whatever you want. And this is legit actually happening. And a guy from Paramount bought this picture at the exhibit and he had it hanging on his wall. And he's like, I want, and literally there came an opportunity for him to shoot a picture, a poster, and he got to shoot it. And he asked, what do you want me to do? And he's like, I want you to recreate Batman smoking. And then that became the beginning of his movie poster career, which he now shoots everything. So personal work is how this photographer, Michael Muller, became a household name. And putting those photos on a wall and adding humor to his photography, adding humor to his personal work, created a body of work that it started a career that is still going today. Like, this is personal work, and you can see the way he shoots. It's almost like his commercial work. It's almost like he does his commercial work for himself. So this is the mighty Michael Muller. And again, should be inspiring for you, for the ladies out there, My favorite female photographer, unequivocally, is Jill Greenberg. Jill Greenberg is, she really sets the stage for how far you can go as a photographer, how you can blend personal work and professional work into a cohesive cohesive body of work that actually gets you paid. Jill Greenberg she is literally the most prolific photographer slash artist, because she does these series. She does these series that are just like, it's just personal work that she just does for herself. And they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And watch how far this personal work goes. She started painting. And I mean, whether you think that she's an amazing painter or not, it's irrelevant. I just want you to see how far she goes. She does digital art. And this is personal work. And then her animals. If you've ever seen Animal Planet, Jill Greenberg shoots the bears. Jill Greenberg shoots the polar bear for Coca-Cola. It is Jill Greenberg. Like, her love of animals created this, like, her now shooting horses, like with digital Hasselblad in the most profound way and with the craziest crops. But the project that started it all is End Times. And End Times, basically, Jill was doing a light test. I think this is her daughter. This here is her daughter. She put her daughter on set. Her daughter had a sucker. She didn't want her daughter to have the sucker. She took the sucker away. The daughter cried. She took the photo. So she showed this photo. People saw this photo, said, "Oh my God, that is amazing. Would you take a picture of my baby like that?" So she started this series where she would give the kid a toy or their favorite thing, and then she would take it away, and the kid would cry, and then she'd shoot a couple photos, and then she'd give the toy back. And this was End Times. And this light and this look was never seen before. And these photos and the heart in these photos had never been felt at this level before. And this was an exhibit, and she made these pictures 6 feet by 6 feet in a New York gallery, and the press lost their mind. Jill Greenberg must be torturing these children in order to get these expressions. She must surely be torturing them in the studio. Like, there was so many articles written about Jill Greenberg back in 2005 when she shot End Times that it literally made her a household name. Everybody was talking about crying babies, and this made her famous. This one series. So personal work is actually how many photographers really, really blow up. End Times. All right, this is Jill Greenberg. So you can imagine Jill has pushed, and then I have this book, Monkey Portraits, which now she shot with the same light, the same concept as her crying babies. She shot portraits of monkeys. I own this book. I have it on my shelf. So this is the brilliance of personal work. This is the brilliance of personal work. And then many of this just totally went into, like, when you see her work now and see, let me find her some tear sheets. Like, she's shot so many things that, like literally, I'm sure you've seen this, which is Handmaid's Tale. She shot all the stuff for the Handmaid's Tale. L Word. These are just Orange is the New Black. She shot all the work for Orange is the New Black. She does a lot of posters. A lot. Shot the cover for Ted. So House of Lies. So she is one of the most requested photographer on photo shoot. She shot Dexter, all the artwork for Dexter. So you can see she's up there as far as one of the busiest, and also lifestyle. Look at her lifestyle work, and how she really is just one of those shooters that you can see she just loves people. So I love Jill Greenberg. I think that she's fantastic. So who else? I got a couple of bonuses that I'll do a little bit faster. This is Zach Gold. Zach Gold. Again, I want you to look at the level of work. Like, come on. You have to understand that, like, where we go with our personal work is a direct reflection to what our portfolio looks like and how often we get hired. I'm telling you, it's not all just work that you're going to get hired to do. And I got to tell you, some of my most powerful work I did for free. Some of my most powerful work I just did for me. I just did for me. That's Zach Gold, definitely a shooter to look at. Another is Rasmus Morgensen. This shooter is pretty killer. He just really has a beautiful sensibility. It's very elegant, and you can see how personal work like translates into commercial work. Look at this photographer. Look at the styling. Look at the styling. It's so out there, but everyday locations. This should be super inspiring for my people who live in Pittsburgh, for my people who live in New York, for my people in California, for my people in London. This should be inspiring for my people in Cape Town, my people in Joburg, my people in New Zealand. Like, look at how this photographer is using these locations. Tell me this isn't inspiring. And again, personal work, man. This is personal work that actually ends up being commercial work. Look at this personal work. Come on now. This is Rasmus Morgensen. Is this not making you remember that assignment that I gave you? Show motion within a still image. Like, is this not making you throw up a little bit in your mouth? Rasmus Morgensen. And I'm telling you, how do I find these photographers? Because I've been collecting photographers for 34 years, literally collecting them. If you're making profound work, I want to know about you. I want to know your style, and I save your link, and I have like this bookmarks of the most insane photographers that you could ever shake a stick at. And if you ask me nicely, I will put links for all these photographers, but you're creative. You can search all these guys. And this next one is Musilek. Musilek. This shooter, I mean, another absolute killer. You understand I have to fast forward by some of this stuff because, you know, YouTube. I got to fast forward by some of this stuff. But look at this photographer. And look at this portfolio. Oh, my goodness. Look at this portfolio. Look how crazy this portfolio is. Woo! Okay, you can look at that one on your own time. All right. This is Musilek and Christian Whitkin. Christian Whitkin is like, oh, I love this. I love this. This shooter and how he uses film, 4x5 film at times. His just like almost passport photo style of photography, like this, and the layout of his portfolio, like 2 across, like literally his pictures look like 8x10 on this 4K monitor. Like, look at the layout of this portfolio. And oh, Brittany, so incredible. Yes or yes? So incredible. Yes or yes? This is Christian Whitkin. He's roughly about the same age as me. He's been shooting for roughly the same amount of time. He's incredible. So, are you starting to feel what I'm laying down? Oops. Are you starting to feel what I'm laying down? Are you feeling how personal work and your look, like, Christian Wiccan breaks so many rules. I can't even list how many rules he's breaking. I can't even list how many rules he's breaking with photography, but guess what? It works. It doesn't matter because it works. Yes or yes. Crazy. Like a Polaroid. Like, Christian Wiccan's work is bananas. Agree or disagree, but the African photographer, oops. Let me find it for you. And when I said I have some photographers, this is where we're going right now. I will find it for you. Someone asked me about the African photographer. His name is OC. OC, and I'm still in my photography portfolios. Here we go at the bottom. OC. Oh, yeah, my goodness. His has one of the hardest names for me to remember, but I will find it for you. Give me a moment. Name on screen. 1 second here. Where is he? Wow, I can't find him. I can't find him. I can't find him. I can't find him. Don't derail me right now. Sorry. I'll find it, but I can't think of it right now. So, apologies. Let's get into our next section here. So, this is really important. This next part that I'm going to get into, one of the most critical aspects of turning personal projects into paid work is becoming known for something. It's like the power of reputation. It's like being known for something specific. The more you're recognized for a specific style, specific technique, specific niche, the more likely clients are going to seek you out. Your unique vision and your consistent execution through your personal projects can actually elevate you. It actually, your personal projects can elevate you from an unknown photographer to an in-demand professional. It's simple. It happened to me. I'm telling you, it happened to me. I'm going to tell you a story. I was 18 years old. I was in first year Ryerson, and I was testing models. And a stylist saw my contact sheets because I had shot this model. And he said, "Who is this photographer?" And the model is like, this 18-year-old kid who's like a photography student. The stylist, whose name is Ian Hilton said, and also she said, and he's black. And Ian Hilton is a black stylist who was like the only black stylist like in Canada at that time. And I was one of the only black photographers at that time. And he's like, I have to find this photographer. So he found me and he set up a shoot for me. He brought dresses from David Dixon. He found the model. He brought an insane makeup artist that had been shooting for magazines and stuff already. He put the whole crew together. And then all I needed to do was get a studio. And that first test, like my first time shooting with him, went into Elle magazine, like my first shoot with this guy. So this is the power of reputation. This is the power of creating personal. And it was my personal work, like just my own personal model test that he saw. But I continued to do personal tests with him. And the work that I created with Ian was the beginnings of my portfolios that I showed to magazines that actually started getting me published regularly, which got me my first covers, my first editorials. And so it's pretty crazy. So it's really important to be known for something specific. The more you're recognized for your style, your niche, your technique, the more likely clients will seek you out. Your unique vision and your consistent execution through your personal projects elevate you from an unknown photographer to somebody who is an in-demand working pro. It's about building a reputation, and that reputation speaks to your creativity and it speaks to your expertise. So here's some actionable steps for you. I've talked a lot about personal work today, but what's equally as important as your personal work is your signature style. Your signature style is what sets you apart. And I want you to be thinking about your signature style as a photographer and what you're doing that is setting you apart. And if you don't feel like you have a signature style yet, I want you to be working on developing it, whether it's dramatic lighting or natural skin tones or conceptual storytelling or clean minimalism. Your personal work needs to have a unique thread that clients can recognize. And number two, you have to be consistent in your work. Consistency builds recognition. So make sure that you're consistently producing work that reinforces your personal brand. Whether you're shooting personal projects or client work, you have to maintain that same aesthetic and that same approach. And you have to share your work consistently. Your work and your reputation is built over time. So share your personal work frequently on Instagram, on Pinterest, and on your website. And that constant exposure and that consistent exposure will help people recognize your style and they'll associate it with your name. And understand this, being known means putting yourself out there consistently and authentically. It's about building your brand over time. And it's not just through the work itself, but it's about how you share it with the world. It's why it's so important to think strategically about what you're creating and how you're presenting it. When people see your work and they immediately know it's you, that's when you've truly arrived. Your personal projects become the hallmark of your reputation, and through these personal projects, you can craft a story that resonates with your potential clients and makes you the go-to choice for those looking for something that's truly unique. So a lot of photographers, I know, like, we hate social media. I get it. We hate social media, but if you're not promoting your work and your personal work on social media and other channels, like, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You have to share your personal work on social media platforms and on other channels where your potential clients can see it. You have to use hashtags. You have to engage with your followers, not just broadcast, but talk to the people who are talking or who are liking, tapping like, and commenting on your work. And photographers are horrible promoters. So you have to actually promote your work regularly in order to increase your visibility. Like, promoting your personal work isn't just about getting likes. It's about building your brand and letting clients know what you're capable of. Put your pictures in frames and hang them on a wall in a gallery. The more people who see your work, the more opportunities you create for yourself to actually connect with clients who resonate with your style and your vision. So here's some actionable steps. When it comes to sharing your work, use the right hashtags and keywords. Think about researching the keywords and hashtags that align with your target market and your style. Use these in your posts to make your work discoverable by the right audience. Don't just rely on generic hashtags like photography. Be really specific, like editorial portraits is a hashtag. If you search editorial portraits, you're going to see tons of my pictures because that's what I shoot. And that's one of the hashtags that I use all the time. And again, engage with your followers, respond to comments, start conversations around your work. And if it's brands that you're interested in, start conversations about their brand, and they're going to look at your profile and see how you align with them. The more you interact, the more likely your followers will feel a personal connection and they'll be inclined to hire you. And you can also leverage multiple platforms. You don't have to limit yourself to one platform. Each platform, like LinkedIn is different and Instagram is different. Instagram's very visual. LinkedIn is for professional connections. Pinterest is long-term visibility. Like, are you sharing your stuff on Pinterest? Like TikTok. This is another TikTok for short form, behind the scenes content. You have to adapt your content for each platform to maximize your actual reach. And also, consistency is key when it comes to promoting your work. Thinking about yourself like a wallflower who just posts every once in a while. Like, no. Post regularly. That keeps your name and your work top of mind. Take advantage of these different platforms: Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and yes, TikTok, YouTube. They can all be effective depending on what your target market needs. Each platform has its strengths, so think about how to best showcase different aspects of your work on different platforms. And engage, reply, share behind the scenes. Let people see a bit of your personality. Are you funny? Are you dry? Are you super technical? Are you nerdy? Like, be yourself. The more engaged you are, the more people who are like you, you're going to attract. Your audience want to engage with you. Like attracts like. You will find your tribe, but it's really hard to if you're not putting your work or your personal work out there. And you have to collaborate. You got to collaborate with other creatives. Like, literally, you have to collaborate with other creatives. If you're not, collaborating with other creatives can help you create more of a dynamic and more of more rich and dynamic work comes when you are collaborating. Like, when you're a photographer that's trying to shoot fashion and you're not using hair, makeup, and styling, your work's going to seem flat. So look for opportunities to expand your network. Look for opportunities to collaborate with other photographers, even other models, makeup artists, stylists. Those collabos not only lead to richer, more creative projects, but they also can open up new client opportunities. When you collaborate, you tap into each other's networks, which helps you build your own reputation as well as help building the reputation of the person that you're collaborating with. It's a great way to learn new skills and to gain inspiration. And the biggest part is learning how to be part of a team. If you are shooting fashion, if you are shooting portraits, if you are shooting editorial, or that is your dream, you need to learn how to be part of a team. And collaborating is the quickest way to do so. So here's your actionable steps. I want you to identify some potential collaborators. I want you to look for some artists, some makeup artists, people who complement your style. And maybe it's another photographer. Maybe that other photographer is doing something that you wish you were doing. Reach out to them and be like, hey, how'd you get to where you are right now? Could I help you blow up? Maybe you could teach me a couple of things so I could blow up too. Like, There's nothing wrong with that. Models. Oh my God, you're beautiful. What agency are you with? I'd love to shoot you for free for your portfolio in mind. Stylists. When was the last time you shot? Let's shoot some stuff for, right now is winter. So let's shoot summer 2025. Let's shoot some bikinis and stuff like that so we can have in our book. Like, because right now people are shooting summer. You shoot summer and winter. You shoot spring and fall. You shoot winter and summer. Like, that's how it goes. So, makeup artists. If you want to shoot beauty, oh my God, I love shooting beauty, but you can't shoot beauty without a makeup artist. You got to work, like get yourself friendly with a makeup artist. So you have somebody on call all the time that you can work with. So, and also don't just work with any stylist, makeup artist, model, person who calls himself a model. You got to work with top talent. Work with people who are better than you. Work with people who you got to beg to work with you. You know, don't work with people who are bad, because like it's just going to make the work bad and it's going to make the day a waste. And start small. Start small with little test shoots. Don't wait for big commercial jobs. When it comes to personal work, start by setting up small little test shoots or small collaborations to experiment with new ideas and to refine your work. Like, here's the thing. If you're trying to learn how to light with colored light or light with gels, are you going to just go into a job and do that? Or are you going to do a little test shoot? Are you going to do a little creative and learn how to light with gelled lights? And then now it becomes something that you can pull out of your roster, pull out of your camera bag and blow the client away on a job like I did right here for this one. So you have to use those small test shoots and collabos to experiment and push new ideas and refine your work. And then share and promote the collaborations. When you collaborate, oh my God, like, okay, we're going to do a collabo post. So I tag you and then all my followers see me or see you and all your followers see me. Like, collaborate on the post. When you collaborate, like, make sure both parties are promoting that final body of work. Tag each other, share each other's work, and use each other's networks to amplify your visibility. Like, understand, working with others often pushes you way beyond your comfort zone, which enables you to try new things. When you collaborate with talented people, you combine your ideas and your skills and their ideas and their skills to create something that's greater than the sum of its parts. Those projects often come with some added visibility. So when your collaborators share the work, you're in front of a wider audience, which increases increases your chances of connecting with the right people. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to turn personal work into paying client work. And the way that we do it is by being intentional. Create work that aligns with your target market. Imagine if you wanted to shoot for Nike, the first thing that I would do is let's see what Nike is doing for 2025. Like, what's Nike doing right now? And how you do that is by looking at Nike's social media. How you do that is by looking at Nike's website. And because I'm in Canada, I'm going to look at nike.ca and it defaults me to Nike US. But I'm going to see that they have a winter line. They're doing big sky. You can see how the background is big sky and kind of industrial. It's like a blend of like future plus throwback. And if you see their looks, this girl has pink hair, this model. So you look at some of the lookbooks and some of the crops and the details that they're showing. So now you can imagine when you see a look like this, you know that you could put this look together or put shots together like this in your portfolio. And also look at this turntable that she's on. Imagine you having a model in studio on a turntable wearing Nike that loops the way that this does. Like, now you're getting ideas. By the way, this better be helping you, or you better hit the like button or leave a comment, because I'm hanging it out here for you today on personal work. This is how you do it. You look here and you see what Nike is doing. And now you're like, ding, ding. Guess what Carty's going to do? I'm going to get a pedestal. I'm literally going to get a pedestal and like a turntable in the studio and just have a model there rotating. Also, look at the poses. Do you remember when I was telling you the poses? The new pose is no pose. How many times have you heard me say the new pose is no pose? No pose. Stop posing your model. It's not in. What does this say right here? What are you looking at right now? The girl, a no pose. She's in a no pose and it's completely showing the jacket. And it's like Raymond Meyer. Do you see what's happening? It's like the photographer who shot this has seen Raymond Meyer's work and he's now used that influence for this Nike campaign. So you have to spiral like this. And this is what spawns personal work. Let's do it with another brand. Oh, guess what I just found? Guess what I just found? That African photographer that you were asking me about. Please screenshot this right now so I don't have to search again. I knew it was AD, but I typed OD. Ediolu Osibudu. Did you catch that? Ediolu Osibudu. This is the shooter, the African shooter that I was talking about. That is for you, Marvin. All right, so now we go ADIDAS. All day I dream about shooting. And then you look at what Adidas is doing. And you look at Adidas apparel. And you look at Adidas outerwear. And you see what the shadows look like. Like, look at the studio light. They have it kind of looking like they're trying to imitate daylight. Again, if you ever want to shoot lookbooks, if you want to shoot footwear, you can't do that without looking at, oh my God, this site is totally horrible. You can't do that without really seeing what these sites and these shoes look like. Look how they're shooting the product in an environment as well as in the studio. So this is what you do, is you come and you look at the websites and you see what is happening with these brands. You see how they lay out stuff. You see how they shoot in studio. You see how, like, this is how you develop a portfolio. This is how you do it, by the way, in case you're wanting to learn how to work commercially. Like, you have to learn how to shoot in studio. You need to know how to show products and show the cleats. And like, this is what you do. And you just do the research. And in doing this, oh, Geronimo, you're very welcome, Mike. Like, this is what you do. And the hard thing is most people, they just do this. They just open Instagram and they just look at Instagram. And whatever photographers they're following here on this thing, it's just like that becomes the stuff that you're just seeing, like whatever you're following. And if you're not following like Raymond Meyer and Joe Greenberg and like Troy Coburn and like all these killers that I'm following, well, then now your feed is just other people who are hacking at it with no training and no real clients, like just like you. So then you become influenced by what they're doing, and that's often bad. So turning personal work into paying client work, it's about being intentional, and it's about creating work that aligns with your target market. It's about building a strong portfolio that showcases what you love to do and promoting it so it reaches the right eyes. It's super simple. You got to collaborate with others to elevate your projects and expand your reach. The path from personal work to paid work requires dedication and a strategic approach, but the rewards, come on, the rewards are well worth the effort. Your personal projects are more than just creative exercises. They can become the foundation of a thriving business. So you kind of got to start today, and you have to create with purpose. You have to promote fearlessly and let your passion for photography and your keen eye for research leads you to profit. Every image that you create brings you closer to your goals if you're making the right images. Don't underestimate the value of your own personal vision. It's definitely what sets you apart and will ultimately help you stand out in a crowded marketplace. You have to keep creating, you have to keep sharing, and you have to keep pushing forward one image at a time. Understand this. I've been doing this here on YouTube for almost 4 years, and I've grown a little bit of a following, and I appreciate you for following. But know this, I'm actively trying to repel as many people as I'm trying to attract with this channel, because I got to tell you, I'm not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. I'm definitely for the obsessed. I'm definitely for the people who are going to become working photographers no matter what. Like, they have to do it. Like, I have to make money with my camera. Like, if that is you, like, you are going to be a business person, you are going to be a creator, you're going to be a creative, a content creator. If this is your world and you are doing it no matter what, you found the right channel, because I don't fuck around. And you're going to learn. Like, I don't need you to like me, but just listen to the information that I'm giving you. I'm giving it selflessly, and I'm giving it to you because I want you to succeed. That is literally the only reason that I'm here. And I'm not a YouTuber, dude. I'm a photographer. I do this literally for you, and, a little bit of passive income here and there, but mostly I'm a full-time photographer. I give 3 days a week to this channel, and I started this business called the Carte Method, and the Carte Method is your 6-step system to turning yourself from a person who's dreaming about being a full-time photographer to someone who actually is a full-time photographer. I have a professional accelerator, which starts in January. You definitely want to be on the wait list for that. Go to thecartemethod.com/accelerator to get on that wait list. I have an amazing system here on YouTube with photo reviews, which I do every Tuesday and Thursday. We do photo reviews here. You can go there to join. That's super easy. And I'm obsessed about helping you get to the next level. Today, we talked about personal work and how personal work is your ticket. If you're, I'm sorry, I hate to laugh, but too many photographers just go out and take street photos and then ask me why they're not working. When you really think of it, if you do it the way that I showed you today, if you use the inspiration that I showed you today, photographers that I showed you, my own stories that I told you, understand that we are not trying to reinvent the wheel. The most successful companies are not the first to market. They're the second. I'll say it like this. The second mouse gets the cheese. The second mouse gets the cheese. The first mouse gets smashed in the trap. The second mouse can just now walk. Now that the trap has been smashed, the second mouse can just go walk and get the cheese. The second mouse gets the cheese. I'm going to give you some second mouse, some second mice. Microsoft was a second mouse. Apple, second mouse. Tesla, great second mouse. So, second mouse gets the cheese. Google wasn't the first one at making search engines. Google. YouTube, not the first video platform, but the best one. Guys, I hope today brought you value. You can help by becoming a member, which helps you as well. For $5 a month, you can join my mentorship community, which helps as well. And go to the Carte Method. I didn't play any spots today. I wanted to get right to the juice. I hope today brought you value. I am here at your service. Go to thecartemethod.com and book a free consultation with me if you want to chat. Guys, I love you. I hope today brought you value. Go make some personal work. Go kill it. Thanks so much.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
Hey guys, if you're looking for more content to help you grow, make sure you watch another video. I'm going to break down more actionable strategies to help you level up that photography career. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.